Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Okay. Hey. Forgot to turn on my surveillance monitor. Yeah. Like it's that important, right? Well, it's kind of important to me. Yeah, I like to know what's going on. 20.3 already. Gonna be another hot day, I think. I don't know. I haven't checked the weather yet. This I just took out of the freezer, maybe 7 minutes ago. Yeah, this is the pizza for today. Now, I was just checking. How many calories is there in this pizza? This is one that I bought in the store. One of those bargain ones. I think it was worked out to about $3 or less per pizza, which isn't bad for Canada. And there is 1,020 calories according to the information I got off of the package. So I've been talking about dieting lately. I'm gonna try again. Okay, so I'm thinking that if I was to cut this into quarters, that would give me about, what would that be? 55 calories? 255 calories? Yeah, it's something like that. Okay, enough about the pizza. I found that I have a brand new unopened jar or pot. I guess some people, they call this a pot of paint, or a paint pot or something like that. I've got one brand new one that has never been opened. And what was happening yesterday when I was painting with the thinned out, and it's funny, I don't have a T somewhere on here to show that it was thinned. I guess I just didn't bother for whatever reason. And it was painting a lot like panel line accent color. You know how when panel line gets into a little crevice, it creeps along, wicks along like ink does in the nib of a pen. Yes, and I'm thinking maybe I'd have better luck if it was a little thicker. And that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna mix this up and we'll give it a try and see if it makes any difference. There are those of you who will know that are experienced with brush painting. Like our friend Gabe, for instance, he would know exactly what to do. Okay. Yeah. And then when it comes to these upper decks here, I'm wondering what would be the best way to go on that now. Would it be paint the deck tan first and the white later? I'm just trying to think of what is it easiest to go up to. I remember way back, one of the models that I was building, I concluded that when I was doing the superstructure and the deck tan on the deck, it was a lot easier to do one than the other first. Because when you look at it, I guess when we look at it from the side, okay, we're going to look at it, you're going to be looking at it basically from the side, and you're going to be sort of looking across the deck, and the superstructure part of this is going to be vertical to you. And if the deck tan had have creeped up onto the superstructure, you would see it a lot more than if the superstructure white had have creeped down onto the deck tan, if you know what I mean. Maybe that's what it was. So in other words, it would be best to paint the deck tan first, and then if you got a little bit of white on it coming down off of the side of the superstructure, yeah. These must have been interesting boats. They're like 50 feet long or so. They were pretty big, I think. I should measure one and multiply it out by 200 to see how long it would have been. Yeah, they're not little rowboats. Although I remember what ship was it that we built, that one of the boats that was rowed was huge, but it would have taken a lot of guys to row it to get it to move. I guess if you were on a ship and it was going down, you wouldn't care what you were in as long as you were in something. Yeah, better than in the water with the sharks, right? Yeah, that must have been terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah, yeah. I just can't even imagine how awful that must have been. You know the stuff that we humans put ourselves through. All because we don't get along with somebody else, and we start throwing things at each other and shooting each other's boats out from under us, and it's we human beings. As I get older, I I I guess I marvel at our stupidity. We are so smart, and we could make things look. We could make the world such a beautiful place if we could just swallow our pride, suppress our greed. Yeah. Anyway, how did we get onto that? I mean, the pizza, that's what's important. Okay, let's carry on here. I'm gonna get this back in the kitchen here before it starts dripping onto my green cloth here. It's starting to thaw. And then the humidity in here is only 46%, but it's still forming water. So, okay. Okay, let's try not to make too big of a mess here. Mixing this up. I wonder if maybe I shouldn't have these things so close to where I'm going to be mixing. Okay, it is the 27th of July. All right. I used to have very neat printing, but I don't anymore. Opened July. '27. '25. Okay, good. I'm hoping that will last me now way into the next build, which I don't have no idea what it'll be. There we go. Now, am I going to make a fool of myself here and not be able to get the lid off? Oh no, it's coming good. Usually when the jar is new, you can get it off pretty easy. It's after it's caked on. Oh, this is a good one. Look at how clean that top of that is. But look at all the pigment has gone to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Okay, I don't know how long I ran it there, but a lot longer than what you saw, because I will have dubbed out the excess. I try to get speaking of excess, get a lot of it off before I put it in my Windex here. Because I know this Windex is a lot cheaper than just ordinary solvent. But it isn't free. It's not free. There we go. As good as new. Now, when I was mixing this up here, I was thinking, this seems very, very runny. I notice there's a little bit of stuff caked on the side there. Maybe I should have tried to get that down in and mixed in. For instance, when I'm brushing, I don't mind if it's got little lumps in it and so on. But if I was to use this for the airbrush, I would want to make sure that I strained it first. Okay, let's give it a try here. Let's recompose. Try and move in a little closer. I noticed when I was editing out, when I was painting these other three here. Pardon my reach here. Okay, yeah, when I was doing these first three, that what was I going to say? Oh, I was too far away. Yeah, and so we'll get in a little closer so you can actually see how it goes. I don't think we'll use the macro lens because, as I've said 100 times, the macro lens makes this sort of thing look terrible, in a way. Now, I was finding yesterday when I was painting those other three, remember I painted one on camera and got frustrated? Well, I found that if I could hold the hull at a 45-degree angle like this, and against the green cloth, which is steady, then I was able to steady the palm of my hand, so to speak, on the table, and I was able to do a much better job. I wasn't using this brush; I was using this one here, and I was thinking, but how can I do the same thing and be able to video it? Because that was my problem when I was on the rotator. The angles were just all not really good for me. So I thought, okay, why don't we use something like this? And where's my blue tack? But was to take my blue tack here and stick it in the, push it down in there so that it sticks. It doesn't stick real good onto wood, but this should work. Now let's be careful not to put force where we don't want it. Now I should be able to take and put this at a 45-degree angle and just stick it in there, and I would think it will stay. Yeah, I think it. Oh yeah, this is going to work good. And then I can turn it a little bit. You can see it. I can see it. Yeah. I should have thought of that yesterday. Okay. Oh, about the ticking of the motorcycle. One of the viewers, I read in a comment this morning, and thank you for that comment, by the way, that he has he Googled it and he found out that gold wings are notoriously ticky. That's not exactly what he said, but yeah. So that sort of made me feel good. And that the people found that when it was hot, it was less. And that's what I found yesterday, too. After I'd gone for a ride and I came back and the engine was nice and hot, I think I commented to that effect that it seems to be less now that it's warmed up. So I don't know. Maybe there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe I'm just sort of paranoid. Just that the rest of it is so quiet, you don't want anything even. Well, it's sort of like JR at Bill Cycle said, that the engine is so quiet you hear absolutely every little thing. And that was one part of his reply to me. Okay, let's. Okay, we want this brush, don't we? Let's recompose here. Although we're pretty much right now. Maybe I'll get my lighting a little bit more in from the. Yeah, see what happens. Okay, now I'm hoping this is going to be better. I've got the light adjusted a little bit differently. And I have my magnification hood on right now, so I've got to be aware of the fact that my peripheral vision is bad. I don't want to be knocking stuff over here. Okay, now I'm just going to move myself in a little bit closer. Should this maybe be just a little bit more angled like this? Yeah. All right. I think you can still see it. I'm going to start at the bow here, and yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Oh my. If anything, this seems more watery than the other one. Maybe the other one was not thinned. Maybe we should take it and pour it into this one. Yeah, it's going on the same way. I found that it would help if I my head is in the light here. No, it doesn't matter if we get white up on the gunnel here, because we're going to be painting the deck tan anyway. I don't know. Maybe it's just going on slightly better, but I have to put it on really thick. Either that, otherwise I'm going to have to end up making 2 coats here. Maybe I'll just swing it around just slightly here. Yeah, this gunnel is going to be painted, if I can, that is. It's going to be painted the deck tan. Notice how it sort of is wicking on, much like Panaline accent color. Goes up into the little crack and then it just sort of runs. I did remember to press record, didn't I? Yeah, just check the monitor. Every once in a while, I'll be doing something like this and I'll be talking away and I'll be thinking, oh, I'm doing such a good job this time. And then I find out I didn't press record. Now I don't want to angle it too much to my left, because if I do, then I can't come in very good with my brush. Now you can see there where I am right now, I did not go high enough or low enough, whichever way you want to look at it, with the black. But I don't think we're going to notice that. Now, is there any place that might be a little bit dark that I might want to just sort of flood it on? Cover it up just a little bit here. All right. Now for the transom, that's what I call the back of a boat like this, the transom, or the stern. I'm going to have to angle this at a different angle. Maybe we'll do the other side and then we'll do the back last. Yeah, I'm just going to press stop here for a minute. Okay, all I've done now is turn this over on its other side, you might say. I was noticing that right in here I did a little bit thin on the black as well. Okay, now you notice here on the bow where the black ran. It'd be interesting to see how well the white covers over that. Alright, now try not to get my head in the light here. You notice what I'm trying to do here is let my white paint go on like the Panaline accent color, in that it flows along the crack. Now I don't want to get it too heavy. When this dries and flattens out, it sort of blends in better. Now here, where the black is up on the side of the hull, got to have it fairly thick, or it's not going to cover the black. Sometimes you try to improve on a little area, and when you touch it, you actually make it worse. Ooh, you know what? I think the black is dissolving there. Seems to be blending into the white. Okay, I want to be careful not to go there again. Or maybe it could be that the paint was just real thin in that spot, or is it maybe there's air underneath it? I don't know. Little tiny bubbles there. I guess if I had the macro lens on, you'd be able to see them better. But if I put the macro lens on, then, like I say, it's going to the trembling is going to be magnified. Everything is going to be magnified, especially the boo-boos. Okay, now here we want to try and go in a straight line. Oh, I heard a car door. I think Max went for his Timmy's coffee just now. All right, I think at arm's length that's going to look acceptable. Now we'll try and reposition this so that we can get the stern here. I think maybe just take the whole thing and tip it forward like this. Yeah, I'm going to have to push stop here for a moment. Okay. Now, for those of you who are suffering from macro lens withdrawal, except that I want the stern, which is what I'm going to paint next, to be right in the center of rotation here. So what I'm going to do is see that this is where it rotates. There's a nail that goes straight through into the green cloth there, and just sort of balances on it. So I'm going to put that like that, and then if I move this up, I know that, okay. All right, now the stern should rotate in the same place. Otherwise, when I rotate it, it's going to go out of the field of view once I get the macro lens on. Now now as we rotate this, you notice how it stays in the center of the field of view. Okay, I think if I angle it like this for myself, it'll be about the best. It's not good for you, but maybe I could put it back just a little bit here. All right. Now, I'm gonna use the same brush. Oh, darn, I forgot to change my glasses. All right, now let's try not to get my head on the light here. Now if I go up like this, I should be able to, we'll do along the bottom first. When you look in close like this, can you ever see where I didn't get my flashing off like I was supposed to? Now we don't want it to go over and tuck underneath, if you know what I mean. Okay, I do believe that from arm's length, I kind of went around a little bit there, but that's the rub rail, yeah. Yeah, maybe that'll look okay because that is the rub rail. No, we aren't going to see the underneath anyway. Okay, let's just have a little look here and see what we got. It is what it is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do the other two boats pretty much the same way. Only hopefully it's not going to take as long. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to just push stop and do it. It is raining outside. About 10 minutes ago it was raining pretty hard. But it's stopped now, and the weather forecast that I saw a few hours ago suggested that later this afternoon there's very little chance of rain. Now this could have changed, but the way it looks right now, I'll be not getting out for a quick scoot anytime soon. So I'll probably be later this afternoon, all being well. Now, when I was painting these, I got to the very last one. I was right near the end, and I was sort of starting to think about how the gunnel was going to be deck tan. And then I thought, well, that means that I'm going to have to turn this thing right side up and paint the gunnel deck tan so that it's going to match the deck. I don't know what I was thinking of actually, but my thinking now is that I'm going to turn these over after well, not this very minute, but and I'm going to paint the top of the gunnel white. I'm just going to quickly do that. I'll do it off camera. If there are in half a pizza 510 calories, as I said earlier, the whole pizza would have 1,020. Yeah, so if I cut it into quarters here, one piece should be 255. Now the hardest part of this is going to be putting the other three pieces in the freezer for 3 more pizza days. I don't know, I'm going to try. Wish me luck.
You know, I was going to cut this with my knife and fork, but you know, this kind of pizza, you can pick it up. It's not messy like the kind I make. Fingers crossed. Well, it's raining pretty hard again. And I know that I just washed my fingers with my greasy pizza fingers with soapy water. But I think I want to handle the bare plastic as little as possible here. You know, I wonder if I'm rushing this. Am I maybe handling these things just a little bit too soon, because we only did paint the white about, well, I guess 2 hours ago maybe? Yeah, I think I better wait a while, and then I'll break these off maybe later this evening. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to call it quits here, folks. I think we did pretty good on the sides, more or less. From arm's length, they look good. Okay. Oh, we got to paint the propellers too. Some kind of I was thinking of yellow, something flat that is going to not completely smother the shape of the propeller, because it is so small. No, it is just so small. I'll see if I can get it so it's sort of silhouetted there. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to worry about that tomorrow. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.